I bow to the auspicious goddess Jagadatri again and again. I bow to the Bhagavati Durga, the bestower of all desires. I always bow down to her who is auspicious, peace-giving, and the highest Vidya. O Mother, O Giver of salvation, O auspicious one, you are pervading the whole universe, O World Mother, and upholder of the universe, I bow down to thee. O World Mother, O Devi, you are devoid of prakritic qualities. You are full of qualities beyond mind and speech. One cannot think out your prowess by one's mind. Mother, you are the highest force, ever willing to destroy the miseries of your devoted persons. Your influence is manifest everywhere. What eulogy can I sing of thee? O Devi, you are the goddess of Vak, speech, of all beings. You are the all-pervading intelligence, mind, effort, and movements. You are the control of the minds of all. Therefore, how can I praise thee? O Goddess, you are the self of all. How can I sing eulogies to thee, who are beyond speech and mind and to the universal self? Brahma, Hari and Hara, and higher devas have not been able to define the limits of your qualities, though they are incessantly chanting your praises. O Goddess, I am the small of the smallest. I am without qualification and bound by prakritic qualities. I am ignorant as regards Jiva and Brahma. O Mother, I will never be able to describe your characteristics that are unfathomable. O Mother, why not good companionships effect the fulfillment of one's desire? The purification of my heart has been effected incidentally. O Mother, my son-in-law is wholly devoted to you. Accidentally there has arisen the connection between him and me, and it is on account of his connection that I have been able to see thee. O Mother, today I have got without any restraint and control of passions and samadhi, the rare vision of thee, who is wont to be seen even by Brahma, Hari and Hara, Indra and the other devas, and by the munis who have attained their realization. Therefore, who is there in this triloky that is so fortunate as I am? O Bhavani, where am I, void of intelligence, and where is the rare visions of you, who is the only medicine of this disease of the ocean of the world? Still, O Mother, who is worshipped by the devas, I have got your vision. Now I have come to know that you always show mercy to your bhaktas, who are in their bhavas. O Goddess, you have saved Sudarshana in this great war crisis, and you have slain these two powerful enemies. How can I describe your prowess in this matter? This I have understood, that your holy character ever shows mercy on your devotees. O Goddess, again, this is not a matter to be wondered at. If one considers, for you are protecting this whole universe, moving and unmoving, and accordingly you have now protected out of your mercy your Bhakta Sudarshana, the son of Dhruva Sandhi, by killing his enemy. O Bhavan, it is not merely for the protection of your Bhaktas engaged in your service that you show this favor, but also to extol the meritorious deeds of your Bhaktas that you do such things. Otherwise, how is it that this Bhakta, saint like Sudarshana, by marrying my daughter, has got victory in this battlefield? O Mother, you are fully capable to destroy the fear of birth and death. What wonder is there that you fulfill the desires of your Bhaktas? The Bhaktas extol you by characterizing you as Saguna, full of qualities, Nirguna, devoid of any quality, and Apara, beyond all merits and demerits. O Goddess Bhuvaneshwari, I am fortunate that I have been able to see thee, and thus all my duties have become crowned with success. O Mother, I have no practices in the shape of your meditation, nor do I know any seed mantras of yours. Today I have fully seen your glory manifested. Vyasa said, thus extolled by the king Subahu, the goddess Bhagavati, the bestower of the absolute freedom, was pleased and said, O thou, practice of good vows, ask a boon from me. Thus ends the 23rd chapter on the killing of the enemy of the Sudarshana in the great war in Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses of Maharishi Vedvyasa. Vyasa said, hearing the Devi's words, the king Subahu began to say with great devotion thus: O Devi, if there be made a comparison between the kingdom of the Devas and the world on the one hand, and the vision of thine on the other hand, then it must be acknowledged that the kingdom of the Devas and the earth cannot stand in comparison before thee. O Devi, there cannot be anything in this Triloki that is more exalted than thy vision. Therefore, O Mother, what other boon may I ask from thee? I am very thankful and blessed. All my desires are fulfilled when I have seen thee. O auspicious Mother, I ask from you this boon, my desire that my devotion may remain constant, fixed, and unflinching towards you. O Mother, you would remain always in this city of mine, being celebrated under the name of Sri Durga Devi, your Shakti. This is my desire. O Devi, as you have cleared off all the obstacles of the Sudarshana and saved him from this danger, so remain here in this city of Benares and protect it, so long as this city stands on the face of the earth, and make it firm and well established and renowned. O Durga, I pray that you may grant me these boons. O Devi, grant me also various other desires of mine, and destroy my enemies and extirpate all the irreligious and wicked people in this city. O Goddess of mercy, what more can I ask from thee? Vyasa said, thus praising and praying, the king Subahu stood with folded hands before the Devi Durga, the remover of all calamities, when she addressed thus, O king, I remain no doubt in the city of Benares, the place of salvation, as long as it stands on the face of the earth, and protect all the people here. Then came there Sudarshana, heartily gladdened, and he bowed to her and began to praise her with intense joy and devotion. O Mother of this universe, everyone in this world shows mercy to those who are devoted to them. O Mother, I see in your case you take it as if your bounden duties to save those that are void of any devotion towards thee, for you have saved my life, though I am devoid of any devotions to thee. Therefore, how can I describe the boundless ocean of mercy that reigns in you? O God, as I've heard that you have created all this universe with its elements, and you are preserving this your own creations, and again you will destroy it in due time. Therefore, Mother, what wonder is there that you have saved me? O Goddess, now order me early that work of yours shall I do now. Where shall I go, O Mother? Now I am unable to make out my duty, therefore kindly order me whether I will remain here or go anywhere else, or remain anywhere I like at my leisure. Vyasa said, on Sudarshana thus petitioning before the Devi, she said with much kindness, O good soul, go to Ayodhya and govern the country befitting your family. O king, constantly remember me and worship me with great care. I will always look after the welfare of your kingdom. Especially in the 8th, 14th, and the 9th day of the lunar half moon, worship me according to the prescribed rites and rules, and offer me sacrifices. O sinless one, establish my image in the city and worship it 3 times, morning, midday, and evening, carefully and with devotion. It is noteworthy that my great puja in autumn for the 9 nights, Navaratri, ought to be done with the greatest devotion. O king, in the month of Chaitra, Magha, Ashwin, and Ashada, my grand festival should be done on the 4 Navaratris respectively, and especially on the 14th, and on the 8th day of the black half half, all persons ought to worship me with their minds full of devotion towards me. He also said, after the Devi, the goddess Durga, the destroyer of all dangers, had finished her sayings, Sudarshana bowed down to her and praised her much. The Devi, giving him the above-mentioned advices, disappeared. Seeing her disappear, all the kings went to Sudarshana and bowed to him, as the Devas go to the Lord, the Indra. The king of Benares, Subahu, too, gladly bowed down and stood before him. Then all the kings began to address Sudarshana, the king of Ayodhya. O king, you are Lord and Governor. You are always your servants. Protect us, the king of Ayodhya. O king, it is through your grace only that we have seen the supreme force, the goddess of this universe, the most auspicious, the eternal Avani, the giver of the fourfold desires. O king, it is for your sake the eternal highest Prakritic Devi appeared. Therefore, you are very fortunate, auspicious, and most blessed in this world. You have finished, as it were, all that you had to do. O king, we are all deluded by the Maya of the Mahamaya Chandika Devi. Therefore, none of us is able to know her prowess. We are always engaged in thinking of wealth, sons, wives. There we are merged in this awful ocean of delusion, infested with crocodiles, etc., in the shape of lust, anger, greed. O blessed one, you are highly enlightened, and you know everything. As we ask you, what is this force, whence she has sprung, how is her prowess? Kindly describe all of these to us. O descendant of Kakud, the saints are always merciful. Kindly therefore relate to us the glory of the excellent goddess that serves the purpose of a boat in crossing this ocean of the world. O King, I am intensely desirous to hear the prowess and nature of the Devi. Vyasa said, when the kings had thus asked the son of Dhruva Sandhi, the king Sudarshana became very glad, and meditating on the goddess began to say thus: O kings, Indra and the other devas, even Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesha, are unable to fathom the most exalted deeds of that goddess. How then can I describe to you the great glory of the Mahamaya? O kings, the Bhagavati Bhavani is present, as it were, being divided into 4 parts. She who is the first and foremost, the excellent sattvic energy, worshipped by all, is always engaged in preservation of this world. That part which is engaged in creating this world is called as Rajasic energy, and that part which is engaged in destroying the world is called Tamasic energy, and that part which is the cause of all, Brahma, etc., that highest Shakti, the bestower of all desires, is called the 4th Shakti, the Nirguna Shakti. O kings, those who are not yogis will never be able to grasp the Nirguna Shakti. The Saguna force can be easily served. All those middle adhikaras, fit persons, and learned men always meditate and worship the Saguna aspect of her. The king said, O king, you got afraid and went into your very early age in the forest. How is it then that you have been able to know the excellent goddess Mahamaya? How did you worship and pray to her that she, becoming so glad, has favored you and so helped you? Sudarshana said, O kings, early in my childhood, I got the excellent root mantra of desires, Kama Bija. Daily I meditated and silently uttered that mantra. After that I came to realize through the rishis that eternal auspicious mother, and since that time, day and night, I always used to remember that highest deity with the greatest devotion. Vyasa said, hearing the words of Sudarshana, the kings came to know that the goddess which they saw was the highest force, and filled with the greatest devotion towards her, returned to their own homes. The king of Banaras, Subahu, returned to his own city after bidding goodbye to Sudarshana. Sudarshana too went towards his Koshala kingdom. The ministers were glad to hear the death of Satyajit and to see the victories of Sudarshana. The inhabitants and armies of Sakata, Ayodhya, hearing that Sudarshana is coming and knowing him to be the son of the king of Dhruva Sandhi, became highly delighted and approached to him with various offerings. Sudarshana, with his new consort, arrived at Ayodhya with his heart highly gladdened, and shewed his due regard and respect for all his subjects. When the ministers came and saluted him, the women threw at him offerings of laja, fried rice, and flowers. The bards began to praise loudly. Thus, honored by various auspicious ceremonies, the king entered into his palace. Here ends the 24th chapter on the installation of Durga Devi in the city of Banaras and the return to Ayodhya of Sudarshana in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.